Hey guys, it's Celeste and welcome to the Don't Feel Their Fire YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a question answer. All these questions were either asked on Twitter or on Instagram, and I'm going to go through all of them and then answer them.
You and me are possibly.
How old were you when you had your first kiss? I was 16 years old. I actually had my first boyfriend starting when I was 15, but I would not kiss him until I turned 16 years old. For some reason, I said I was not ready yet for that kind of seriousness, and I just 16. Question number 2 from Celeste Fan Nation. If you could open for anyone, who would it be? I would love to open for Alabama or Shania Twain. Those are my two probably most favorite people that I could open for. Alabama, I just love their music, I love their energy, and I love their story, and I love them as people. I love watching their interviews just as much as I love watching and listening to their music and music videos. And Shania has always just been a really big influence of mine, so I think it'd be really cool to be able to share a stage with her and open for her. Question number 3 is from Alyssa Ann on Twitter. What do you do in your spare time? In my spare time, I like to write music. I like to play with my dog. I like to just hang out and chill at my house, watch TV, not too much TV because I get bored eventually. Hallmark movies are good, especially during the Christmas and winter seasons when it's cold outside. I love fitness. I love working out, running, going to the gym. That's pretty much what I do in my spare time. And if it's summertime and I have time, I like to go to the beach. Question number 5. Do you have any rituals before you go on stage? I don't really have any pre-show rituals. I make sure I have water in me. And then I usually say a prayer before I go on stage. Say, God, help me do whatever you want me to do. Help me affect the audience in a positive way. Maybe change somebody's life. I did that a lot in my school tour performances. I pray before I go out because I want to be able to make a difference in a positive way. Question number 6 is from Country Boy Chef on Instagram. What's your favorite food you have to have when traveling? Oh, goodness. That's a tough one. I mean, if we're talking like fast food, not fast food, but like restaurant food, like where would I go? I love Olive Garden and Texas Roadhouse, but I cannot go all the time because if I did, I'd be like Santa. So, I love Panera Bread. It's healthy, it's quick. I love Jack in the Box. It's not healthy, but it is still quick and it's cheap. What else do I like? I like Cracker Barrel. That is probably the place I go to most often because they have a good variety. It's good food. They have great salads and vegetable soup is awesome. And on Thursdays, they have sweet potato casserole. Question number 7. Were you bullied? Why and when? From Lee Austin on Instagram. So I was not really bullied much in school other than like petty stuff like your eyebrows or you have a unibrow or just on the surface level stuff, people trying to be mean or excluding me from certain things, and I really didn't care, honestly. I focused on my music and what I loved, and that made it so whatever they said at school really didn't affect me. I really wasn't bullied too much until after I was done with school, and I was in a couple different relationships where my significant other wanted to tear me down and tried to take what I loved away from me and my dreams, and I just, for a while, it had me pretty upset, and one day I realized I didn't have to listen to what they had to say anymore. So that's kind of what helped me move on from that and move on to being happier and not having to listen to negativity in your life. Question number 8. What is your favorite electric guitar? From Atticus Macbeth on Instagram. My favorite electric guitar, I haven't gotten to play very many electric guitars. I usually play my Taylor acoustic guitar, but I'd have to say out of the ones I have, I've played Fender and I've played Gibson, so both of those are good. I would like to explore the options and see which one I really do like better, but I don't even have like an electric guitar amp to test it out. So that is next on my to-do list. I really want to learn how to play like lead guitar and stuff like that. I would have so much fun. Play it down. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I tell you to come over here to kiss me. Anyways, back to it. Question number 9. Born in Nashville, did you feel pressured to be a country singer? And that's from Droopae on Instagram, Droopae. I actually was not born in Nashville. I was born somewhere else. I grew up on the East Coast, and I don't live in Nashville full time. So I never felt pressure to be a country music singer either way, but it's just something I loved, and so that's why I pursued country music. Question number 10. What is the hardest lesson you learned in your singing journey? From Tim on Instagram. The hardest lesson that I've learned is probably that things don't happen overnight. I know when I was 13 or 14, I was listening to the Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana. I just thought, hey, I could do the same thing they're doing, and I'll be singing in front of thousands and thousands of people in like a year or two. So 10 years later, I have realized there's a lot more to music and the singing journey than just singing. So I've learned a lot about myself and about what I like to do, and I've written a lot of good songs, and honestly, I am so glad that at the age of 14 or 15 I wasn't out there in the spotlight, because I don't think I was ready for it. I didn't know it then, but now looking back at my 14, 15-year-old self, I'm just glad I was able to grow up and learn without being in the spotlight. So that's my answer. Question number 11. How tall are you? From Bobby King TV on Instagram. I am 5 foot 4 inches tall, and I haven't grown since 2007. Question number 12. If it wasn't for singing, what would you see yourself doing? From Nathan on Instagram. I would be a meteorologist or a storm chaser. I've always loved weather and been fascinated with it. The movie Twister made me even more fascinated with it, even though probably it's not super realistic, the cows, but hey, you never know. But no, I've always wanted to chase a tornado, and I just love taking pictures of clouds. I just think it's really, really interesting and something I'm kind of obsessed with. I've written a few songs about it. Lightning, rain, crying with the sky, tornado. They're all on iTunes and Amazon and Google Play and Spotify if you guys want to listen to them. But I love weather. So that would be what I would do if singing were like not a thing at all. Question number 13. What are some tips on how to move on from being bullied? From Claire on Instagram. Claire, I'm so sorry if you're being bullied or if you have a friend that is being bullied, but I would say my best advice to move on is, I don't know your exact situation, how serious it is, or what exactly is going on, but I guess the best thing to do is look at the bully and know that that's their problem. You don't have an issue. They're attacking you because there's something personally wrong with them, and they have to take it out on you. And that's really what helped me in the situations I've been in. I'm not going to let that affect me, and I'm just going to focus on what I do, focus on what I love, and I'm going to end up so much farther along than they ever will tearing somebody else down. So that is how I move on from being bullied or any kind of situation like that. Question number 14. What was your inspiration to start your Don't Feel Their Fire tour? From Kendall on Instagram. That is a very good question. I was actually 17 or 18 years old, and I met a man who told me a story about his son getting bullied on a school bus, and basically had to go to the hospital. Like, it was this horrible situation. He got beat up. He had thought of the concept of getting artists to come in and actually perform at schools and talk to the students about being bullied, and I fell in love with that idea. I thought it was just the coolest thing. I know I had been in situations where I could help others learn from what I'd been through. So I love the idea, and from there I went on a couple other school tours, and then I started school tours of my own. And the Don't Feel Their Fire idea came from basically just how I grew up and how I went through school in different difficult situations where someone was trying to tear me down. I came up with the slogan, "Don't feel their fire," because if you don't feel their fire and don't give in to what they want out of you, if you don't cry, if you don't feel hurt, then they're not going to continue to bully you. So that's how that whole thing came about, and I think it's been about 3 years that I've been doing the Don't Feel Their Fire tour, and it's just so much fun, so rewarding, and so cool to be able to relate to 1,000, 2,000 people all in one room just by singing the same songs and then sharing a lot of the same stories. Question number 15 is from Rachel on Twitter. What made you decide to be a performer? Well, growing up, I loved music. My dad used to sing me to sleep every night. I used to dance with my mom because my mom was a dancer. And it was just something that was always in me. When I was old enough, I joined my church choir at school, sang This Little Light of Mine with our little This Little Light of Mine. And then I started doing church plays, and I remember one time after one of our Christmas plays, I was sitting on the edge of the stage in our sanctuary, and my mom came up and said, "Honey, it's time to go." And I said, "I don't want to leave." And I think that's when she knew that I just loved music, and that was probably something I was going to do. And then a few years later, when I auditioned for Radio Disney for the first time, I think I was 10 years old, I was so nervous, and my face was beet red. I was scared to death. I was like going to pass out. And she said, "Why do you do this to yourself?" I said, "I figure if I do it enough that eventually I'll get over the nerves and it'll just be fun," because I loved singing and I loved the music so much that the fear of getting on stage in front of people really didn't outweigh that. So that's really, I think, when I knew that I wanted to do this, and then performing and opening for Raven and Miley Cyrus and the Jonas Brothers in front of 12,000 people. I was like, okay, I'm done. This is what I'm going to do, and it's going to be so much fun. Question number 16 from Neil on Twitter said, "What languages do you know?" I know English, and hablo un poco español, just a little bit. I took 2 years of Spanish, so I'd really like to learn more languages. Probably need to brush up on my Spanish a little bit. Question number 17 is from Marcus on Twitter. What is your favorite song to sing live? Favorite cover song to sing live currently is Tin Man by Miranda Lambert, because I just love the melody and I have fun playing with it in my voice. My favorite original song to sing live, probably one of the new ones that you guys haven't heard yet. So there's a cliffhanger. Okay, yeah, I skipped question number 4. Chris Sabrina on Twitter asked, "What is your favorite song from your You and Me EP?" My favorite song on my You and Me EP is Get Lost. It is my baby. I wrote it in 2013 or 14, so it's the one I've had in my head the longest. And it's just funky, and I like funky stuff. So whenever I perform that on stage, I absolutely love it. So that is probably my favorite song on my You and Me EP. Question number 18. Why country music and not something else? From Thomas on Twitter. I grew up listening to a lot of different music. Obviously, I was a Disney kid, so I listened to Radio Disney, High School Musical, Hannah Montana. I listened to a lot of like Michael Jackson and Gloria Estefan with my mom growing up, and I listened to a lot of James Taylor and the Eagles with my dad. Alabama was a common connection between the two of them, so that was another thing, and Shania Twain. But I just felt like that was the music that fit me most when I went to write songs. It was either a Christian song or a country song, and I guess it's just who I am. Question number 19. What is the best advice you've been given? By Raymond on Twitter. Oh my goodness, the best advice I've been given. That's a tough one. Probably just to have faith. Without faith, you won't get very far in life in general, because not everything's always going to go your way. Whenever something negative comes to me or I get bad news, I know it's not the end of the world, because I know there's a better plan for me, or another door that'll open if another door shuts. And so I've always just had faith and believed that the best thing for me, the best plan for me, God's plan for me is going to happen. And I had faith that I was going to like it. So That's probably the best advice I've been given, is to have faith. And it's one of the first songs I wrote was a song called Have Faith when I was 11. I wrote it on the school bus. Have faith when nobody else is there for you. Have faith. This is pre-guitar, so I really didn't know how to write. When you're in the dark and you cannot see, I'm here and I am waiting for something to do. I want one little thing. I want my dreams to come true. Question number 20. We have 2 more questions left. What is your favorite part about performing? Asked by Christina on Twitter. My favorite part about performing is being able just to feel the energy and connect with the people in the audience, especially when they're singing along or clapping, or you see somebody just having a really, really good time. That's just cool. I mean, you can connect. You might not even know the person, but you connect on a level of you're in the same place at the same time, singing the same words, knowing the same song. It's just really cool. So that, and being able to get my music out there in front of people and seeing if they like it or not. Last question. Question number 21. Would you ever change from country to pop music? From Michael on Twitter. You know, I don't think I would. I don't know if I would change permanently from country to pop music. Maybe a pop track or 2 on a country album. I feel like I incorporate a lot of pop and rock sounds into my country music because I love to dance. So no, I am not opposed to doing a pop song, but I don't think I would ever transition totally into just the pop genre alone because I love country music so much. I love the instrumentation. I love going into the studio and working with the musicians, the guitar, the fiddle, the drummer, everything. It's just a lot of fun. So country music is fun for me, and I think that's that. So thank you guys so much for watching my first Q&A here on the Don't Feel Their Fire YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel for more updates and stuff like that, and comment below if you have any new YouTube video ideas. I love you guys so much, and remember, don't feel their fire. Love y'all.